You are with the OnEBoard Home series today. My name is Nina Trankova. We started our OnEBoard series in December, and our first guest in January was Svetlana Stavreva, the president of IPRA, Public Relations International Association. Then we had Justine O'Brien from Sydney, Australia. She is a business development entrepreneur. Then we had Paolo Amoroso from Milano, Italy, an astronomy educator and Google product expert who is running practice with Google newsletter. And recently we had Alex Simichiev. He is a doctor, director of medicine in the University of Plovdiv. And now today we have our team together with the speakers, Peggy, Monika and Bob. And we want to discuss how we used a hyperbola for our guests to emphasize how important it is for a professional to have their online presence. And that's why we named our series Online Home, without knowing that all the world will jump online and the internet will be online home for half of the world population. Unfortunately, the other half is disconnected. But still, it's pretty amazing. And I mean, in a very abrupt change in the meaning of amazing, abrupt, for us also to understand how online home is affecting our life, work and day balance. We have received very positive feedback from our guests about the awareness of being online while we had the conversation. And today we want to answer one question. What has changed for our online home now in the quarantine period with the COVID situation? Svetlana, please tell me, what is your online home now?
Okay, so I remember last time when we spoke, I was more focused on the word online. Well, let me now try to focus on the word home. And it is a kind of an inversion that we've started seeing, because a home, it's a place that you come from work and you relax. While during COVID times, our home has become a gym, a school, a restaurant, what else? Of course, an office. That's actually the most important. And all of a sudden, we started to appreciate what our old meaning of home means. We also started to appreciate what everybody else who is in this home is doing. Immediately started to somehow witness and notice what the others do, and therefore we started to appreciate also the small good things of life, like the good coffee when no one else is making an online meeting, or the possibility to get on a balcony and get a fresh air, or the possibility to be in the empty room and do your yoga class. So actually it was more like an inner journey to yourself, to what you care about and how you express this in your home online, in your office online, in your meetings online. That would be my impression.
That's magnificent. To if it wasn't for the tragic part of what humanity is going through, otherwise it would have sounded like a nice experience to travel to your inner self. Thank you so much. And where do you spend online most of the time when you are, I mean, for communications work? Did you discover better places on social media?
No. I started better places in social media. No, but what I did actually, I start intentionally last month. I said to myself that I'm going to be less active on social media, and I found out recently by learning by studying some analytics on my Twitter analytics that actually with less tweets I achieved more, which means that, and this is an old truth, when you do focus on what you care about, you are less active, but you achieve more.
That's fantastic. Very top tip for everyone, especially brands and also individuals. Thank you so much. And now I give the word to Peggy. Peggy, please tell us what was your online home before and after and now. So we have not yet reached to say after. I hope very much we can do so very soon, but now.
Thank you, Nina. Originally, I think what I said was my online home is my own personal site where I can post things that I'm interested in. Someplace it's a place that I control my space. And I think that's pretty much the same now, but there's such a different feeling now where before there was this bigger separation between my, physical home life and my online home life. Now those things have come together. So now if I do any sort of socializing, instead of going out, it's at home and we do a video call like this, or we, go to a forum or a site. Now, if we want to have any sort of cultural enrichment, instead of going to the museum or going to a music performance or going to the movies, again, that's all at home and online. So I kind of feel like most of my life has moved online, but my home space hasn't really changed. And you asked Svetlana about going on social media. I think that I've been on social media probably about the same amount that I was in December, but it's a different kind of conversation now a little bit because, again, everything has moved online. And so there's a bigger focus on that now. And I feel like now my home, my physical home, where I'm actually now, is sort of a space to get away from all of that. It's like a haven from all that's going on outside in the world.
Thank you, Peggy. And that's interesting how we don't have digital divide anymore. We are new creatures.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
And Monika, how about you?
Yeah, hello. I can relate to both Svetlana and Peggy, as we are online very often and on a regular basis. This hasn't changed much, but what we also experience through our online connections is a huge threat coming in from the virus spreading out in the world. So I also learned to be less online, to protect myself from these threatening feelings. Fortunately, nobody in my relatives, in my family, or in my friends has caught the virus so far. So it's still kind of anonymous, though the news are terrible. So I didn't change anything about the online connections. I'm on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn and Facebook here and there, mostly on Twitter, and oh, I lost my thought. Sorry. So, but the situation with COVID-19 has influenced our work a little bit. So our collection of pictures or photos where we are doing during winter or festive season should have been spring now, and so we changed it to lonely spring because everybody was lonesome somehow, caught in the home office. And that's what the influence made. Okay, we will see what happens.
Yes, thank you, Monika. Thank you. And Lonely Spring is a very nice initiative, and I'm very happy it's showing a little bit more, expanding to many people. Even then, if they don't contribute, a lot of people are scrolling the world on 3 continents. And you can easily see it's lonely. Maybe that's why the reason is they don't jump in to contribute, because it's really lonely, so it's not attracting you to join. It's maybe pushing you away because of the loneliness. And Bob, can you tell me what's the difference for your online home before the COVID and now?
Well, Nina, in fact, what Svetlana said, Peggy said, and Monika said, I could identify with each one of what you just said or felt or believed or behaved. However, I'm just a little bit different since I'm a retiree. And here in Montana, the quarantine didn't apply to public land areas. So since that's my passion, I was able to do basically what I've always done, is get up in the morning, get my camera, my binoculars, my field gear, and go out to the grasslands, wetlands, forest, take pictures, come back home, process them, and post them online. Now, here's a perspective that maybe you weren't aware of, but the places I usually go to, I have them all to myself. There's virtually no people there. With the onset of the virus, those places are now filled with people. You would be totally shocked. In fact, they have signs up saying that, hey, if this area is crowded, maybe you should go someplace else. But so I kind of look at this virus situation as a perfect opportunity to reconnect people with nature. So what I do is when I post pictures, I always have like a little affirmation saying that, hey, you could go outside and see this for yourself. You don't have to live vicariously through my work. And so it's kind of an opportunity in a way to maybe get people to think about things or reflect upon things that they didn't have time to do before the virus, which is kind of really a paradox, isn't it? That it would take something terrible for people to basically embrace something that they should have been doing all this time. But, you know, I want to maintain the positive aspects of it because it's a very difficult time for us all. I don't know anybody that has the virus, but I can tell you, my wife and I, we're basically, we don't go shopping. Nope. If we get something, we order it online or we just pick it up at the store. Somebody else shops for us because we're basically in the at-risk group because we're over 60. And although we're in really pretty good health, it doesn't take very much to find news stories of people 30 and 40 years of age dying from this. And, you know, that's obviously pretty scary, but so far, so good. Here, this part of Montana, there's very few cases, so we're very fortunate. And I hope all you folks can continue to stay safe and sane and happy all at the same time.
Yes, and hope to see more of your photos on Twitter. That's you've managed to make it kind of your space for nature evangelizing. So also congratulations for being persistent about it, Bob. Okay, so now for me, it didn't change my daily home, online, off, or in the physical world. I would still do what I did before. Like in 2015, we had a lot of experiences being in community online. Therefore, I already know, and I kept being more organized on my domain-based principle, and I was glad to be on OnEBoard with you and have this managed across media and see how it works, because in the physical world or online, we only resonate and have meaningful conversations with just a small group of people. At least that's my experience until now in my life. Even I communicate with a world community. This level of my communications that I keep on different channels for very small time on Twitter and on LinkedIn, but for my meaningful conversations, I was safe on my domains and with a group and with a community on Google, because that's my community. And when people ask me to join this group, to read this book, to stay on online meetings, I didn't need those experiences that have been to many people overwhelming, because it's very exhausting to be like day and night online. So it's an extreme experience that is not making all the people happy to go through this. But on the positive side, what my mission was to ask professionals to be online, that happened. As Bob said, that's a paradox also in this area. The digital divide for many has closed, and they already know what is it to be online individually for your company, and they start to be aware about the security issues, privacy issues, content strategies, all those things that previously didn't interest them at all. So on this side, I have a fulfillment, and I also helped my friends. And I hope this finally removes, because the feelings has changed a lot. Even my online home, my domains, I don't feel happy. The whole this tragedy is always in my heart. So even the blossoming trees, the nature, I go out, but it's another feeling. So I hope we find cure and go to the new normal. Anyone has questions to ask? No? Okay, so then we should close the conversation. And thank you so much. It was really a shocking discovery to have named our series Online Home before it happened to the world. So this discussion was dedicated to our futuristic predictions, so to say. And thank you to all our guests who contributed, and to our team for being prepared to the conversation. And see you in May with our next guest. Bye.